Hey guys. When I was reflecting about this prompt and trying to think of a time when something I had planned didn't totally work out, I remembered a time when I was volunteering and there was a girl who was on the floor, regular inpatient floor, and she was in a halo. So she was, and she was like kept on her side. So she was laying in bed, kept on her side, and she couldn't really move her head or her body that much. And the child life specialist, whose patient it was, she had me bring in a craft to see if she wanted to do it, because she usually liked doing crafts, and it was a fairly easy craft. I think it was like a foam like window decoration that she could like put all the things on, and I would help her do it. So I went in and I talked to her a little bit, and she seemed to be kind of tired, but she was also like really, really bored. So I asked her if she wanted to do a craft, and she was like, I definitely do, and she was really excited, and I held it up, and she was like, I already did that. And I was like, oh, you did? And I was like, oh no, I felt so bad because she was like looking forward to it. And the child life assistant on that floor had like went in and did the craft with her like an hour before and didn't relay back to the child life specialist. So like some wires got crossed. So I offered, she had some games in her room, so I offered to play a few of them with her, and we played like for a couple minutes, but she was just like really not into it, and she didn't want to do anything, and I felt bad. She was a little tired, and she was just like, I think I just want to rest, so I just left, and I felt bad because it was, hopefully I was going in there to try to cheer her up and try to get her to be active, and I felt like I kind of let her down a little bit. So definitely looking back on that, I could have thought on my feet quicker, could have come up with maybe a different way to make the craft or another game thing on my feet, but I felt kind of trapped in that situation. But a time where I had a plan that went through was actually at camp this past summer. I was an activity leader this summer at camp for the ropes course, and we have a low ropes course, so it's a lot of like outdoor adventure games. And there was this one group at camp, the middle school boys, I think they were in 7th grade, who had a lot of behavioral issues in their group, and they were constantly getting yelled at by counselors, and then the counselors, they just weren't really good with discipline or handling situations or diffusing problems, and there was arguing between the staff, and there was just all of this had kind of built up, and their leadership person came to me and said, can you do a group game with them at ropes, because it's just getting like really hostile in that group and we're all kind of at our wits' end. And we have this thing at ropes called a spider web, which is a really, really fun group game, and it's an 8-foot across spider web. It's about 5 feet high, and it's just like a series of ropes all connected, kind of like this, to make it look like a giant spider's web, and it's in between 2 trees. And the object of the game is to get everybody through the holes in the web onto the other side without touching the ropes and without moving the spider, which is a little stick that I put on the top. So it's a game about working together and cooperativeness and listening and communicating. So I thought it would be good for them to do. And they started playing it, and there's about like 15 kids and 5 counselors, so it was a really big group, and they started to play, and they were like, this is impossible, we can't do this, and they were getting really, really negative right from the start. But I just like was kind of stern, and I was like, all right, start again, and every time they had a restart, it kind of was like they'd get so aggravated to the point of, all right, we're going to do this, and they just like, it took them a full hour, but by the end of it, they were like all working together, all supporting each other, and they were so happy, and it was like the best thing for their group, and they like went right from there to their next activity, and there was like no fighting for the rest of the day, and they saw a lot of improvement throughout the week. So I was really proud of that moment, because their leadership person came to me and she was like almost in tears, and she was like, thank you so much, like that is exactly what they needed, just like a group game for them to come together. So that was a time I definitely was really proud of.